An offer from the Trump administration raising major questions for federal workers, offering them a chunk of change to quit their jobs in an effort to shrink the federal government. The buyout letter went to millions of employees across the country, including here in New Mexico. News 13's Marilyn Upchurch heard from a federal workers union here in the state. Marilyn?
The email that was sent to federal employees across the country says those who leave will receive about 8 months of salary, but they have to make a decision by next week. A local union says that's too soon.
And that's really one of the biggest concerns that we're hearing, is that there's such a short time for them to make this what could be a very life-changing experience for the employees and their families.
Sue Parton is the president of the Federation of Indian Service Employees, which represents agencies under the Department of Interior, where they represent teachers, cooks, janitors, bus drivers, and more. Parton says many of those in her union are confused about President Trump's so-called deferred resignation offer for federal workers, with employees expected to decide by February 6th.
They're asking questions, well, if I don't resign, but I would like to transfer to another work site, is that part of this buyout? Or if I get in the middle of it and I change my mind, am I allowed to do that?
This email was sent out on Tuesday to federal workers nationwide. It says for those who accept the buyout, they will be exempt from work until September 30th, at which point their employment will officially end, meaning they will get almost 8 months of pay. If workers decide to stay, the majority of federal employees who have been working remotely since COVID will be expected to return to working in person.
Some of them were hired in positions that were advertised as remote positions.
The federal government employed more than 3 million people as of November, according to Pew Research. According to federal data, there were more than 25,000 federal employees in New Mexico as of 2023. Union reps across the country have been raising concerns not only about the impact of workers accepting the buyout, but also job security for those who stay.
They are going to demand that federal employees be loyal and trustworthy. And if not, that they will be targeted for, be penalized up to removal.
My concern is not only the employees, but how it will impact our Native communities throughout the country, but particularly here in New Mexico.
The deferred resignation is available to all full-time federal employees except for those in the military, U.S. Postal Service, or those in immigration enforcement. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Marilyn. The American Federation of Government Employees released a statement saying, in part, purging the federal government of dedicated career civil servants will have vast unintended consequences that will cause chaos for the Americans who depend on a functioning federal government.